Hey, I just want to make a quick video about a tip that has saved my ass a couple times on strip drain plugs, similar to this one right here. I figured this out on my son's dirt bike, stripped a drain plug out a couple years ago, and I was kind of scratching my head because there was no room to work and I didn't want to split the cases. And finally I decided just to, I got to measuring the hole after the heads were stripped, or threads were stripped, and realized that it was basically already drilled for a 1/4 inch pipe, and this was pretty close on this one too. I think this was possibly a 1/2 inch drain plug, 1/2 inch fine thread, and it was one that the threads just came out of the pan when I took the plug out, and the only option to fix that one would be to cut the bung out of the pan or go to a bigger drain plug or whatever. But I've kind of figured this out, that all you really need to do is, if you want to go to 1/4 inch pipe, you just run a 7/16 bit through the hole, existing hole, and that will be the size for a 1/4 inch pipe. And it's probably already going to be that big, but luckily pipe tapers, and it will probably still be okay, because by the time you get to the end of the taper, the plug will still get tight for you. But another tip I was going to say, like on that motorcycle, working on it in the in the frame and everything, the first tip is you can do the same thing with the flutes on the drill bit also. Like I said, the plug's going to be stripped, so you may not have to really run a drill through it, but pack your flutes with wheel bearing grease. And by flutes, I mean these divots here in the side. And cut 3 or 4 threads, and then back it out, wipe it off with a rag, blow it off a carb cleaner, blow it off with air, then pack it again and go 3 or 4 more, and you'd be surprised how much of the metal you can keep on the tap and not let get in the engine. And a problem you're going to have on on that case was the tap bottomed out before it was in deep enough for the plug to be where it needed to sit. So what you can do there is run that in as far as you can, and then get another tap and cut the end off of it. And well, that's not one to focus. And you can basically go ahead and run that on in a little bit farther until you get down deep enough that the plug will be setting in flush or slightly below flush or above flush, but enough that you can get it tight. And if you have to, you may have to get a third tap and cut it down here and just run it right down there at the very end. But that will let you get in there if you've got an obstruction, and let you go ahead and get it tapped. It just seems like a pretty easy way to get yourself out of a lot of trouble. Maybe you got a junk car that you don't want to put a new oil pan on, or maybe you got taps and a plug and you don't want to run to the parts store for a drain plug, but it's a way to get out of trouble. But like, this is a 3/8, which is a lot bigger, but you've always got the option to go bigger if you got room. But anyways, just a quick tip to get you out of trouble, possibly.